for the department. And that includes our student athlete welfare. So making sure, again, that you guys have everything that you need. Working closely with Chris Everett, who's our director of life skills and student athlete development. And again, preparing you for life after sports. So we just want to make sure, one, we went back and we revamped a lot of our programming to incorporate 3 key elements every time we do our calls now. And again, everything this semester will be delivered via Zoom. So at least you're in the comfort of your own home and everything else. But again, the 3 key elements: raising awareness on social issues. So at times it will pertain to the topic, at times it will not, but we want to make sure we hit on a key social issue, a leadership takeaway, and things that you can be actionable either together as a team or individually to help move society forward. Some sessions, again, we're going to ask you to challenge yourselves within it. Some things we discuss, you may want to play a key role in part of putting on an activity that you just need to let Chris Everett and myself know with that. And again, this is the time for you guys to learn and grow, to prepare you for life after sport, but also remind you that at the end of the day, it's going to take all of us to push society forward with all the issues that we have, and making sure one of our pieces tonight is that nobody goes hungry and everything else. So we'll tie that into what Elise is going to go over from a nutrition performance standpoint. But I'm going to go ahead right now and turn it over to Chris Everett. But if we can have, again, everybody keep their cameras on, paying attention. Our last session only went about 45 minutes, but if you have questions and all of that, it may go a little longer. We're scheduled for an hour, but the more you're paying attention and we're able to get things out, we may be able to finish a little early so you guys can have some time back to yourself. But Chris, it is your go.
So just so that I don't forget, for the seniors that are on this call, we will be doing another one of these next week for you, because in case you don't know, I am asking every senior to submit a resume to me by October 1st. What we do is we send those resumes out to companies to help you guys find a job. And yes, even if you do already have a job lined up, or you think you have one lined up, we still want you to create a resume, because everyone needs to at least have one to start with, because you never know when you may need to break out another one. So seniors, we will be doing that next week. Again, mark your calendar, October 1st, your resume is due. Also, those of you who kind of got in late, drop your name and your sport in the chat. That's just you checking in right now in the beginning. We will do a survey at the end that would take your information with that as well, to make sure that you stay the entire time through. So make sure you guys are paying attention. We're going to ask some questions kind of towards the end, but to start out, we're going to do one of these Mentimeter things just to have a little bit of fun, get you guys all typing and doing stuff. So also, if you are in the room with somebody, you may have to let them send this link to them so that they can pull this up. So everyone, please click on the link. We're going to have a little bit of fun, a little bit of interaction to start out. I am going to share my screen. All right, so we are talking about nutrition. So let's start out. What did you guys have for breakfast? Drop it in here, please. Eggs, once again, Elise is still in the show early. Eggs on toast, strawberry smoothie. Love seeing that you guys are putting food up here. And I don't see anything that says nothing yet. So let us know what you guys have been eating for breakfast. All right. Who's writing? Who is that? Literally have no clue how someone is doing that, but I am going to move to the next one. All right, so we're in the middle of the work week, so let's not look forward to the weekend quite yet. Let's look at crushing it the rest of the week. The start of a great semester, let's first start it with a great week. What do you look forward to doing the rest of this week? Can you name at least one thing that you look forward to doing for the rest of this week? Sleep. Sleep, practice, sleep. That's all you be out. Yes. That was my rival in college, so I want you guys to drag them in the mud face first. Let them eat mud, please. Scrimmaging, going home, going to a vineyard, hey, working. Getting to know my softball friends, love to see that. It's all about the power of meeting people. All right, let's move on. So what is so great is that we all have the power to choose. And with the new school year, we have the pleasure of choosing new routines, new friends, and more. With that being said, choose one thing you would do for yourself this week. Steak. Gotta love it. Sleep. Sleep takes the cake on all of these things. That's all y'all talk about. Podcasts every morning. Love that. Some good podcasts. Drop a good podcast in the chat if you know of one. 2K. Self-care, meditate, buy things, a lot of sleep. What is Warzone? Somebody said that in the last group. What is Warzone? Is that a game? Actually get organized.
Call of Duty, Chris. Gotta stay with the times.
I just bought that.
Wanna play?
Oh man, next question.
I suck. Give me a little bit of time.
Got 4 days.
Oh man, now that we have chosen something to do, let's choose something not to do. You have the power to abandon old habits and take up new and more positive habits, especially with this being the beginning of a new school year, that can be your key to success. So what is one habit that you would like to abandon? Social media. All right. Procrastination, once again. Biting my nails. Coming to see a lot of y'all bite nails. Binge watching TikTok.
Watching TikTok. I need to abandon
I was
that.
about to say, was that you?
Mind you, some of you come across my For You page, some educational, some not so much. But I'm enjoying the watching.
Taking melatonin every night. Whoa. TikTok. Snoozing my alarm. Biting nails. Got to see some of y'all know y'all spend too much time on TikTok. I'm not on it yet. Don't plan on getting on it either. So, we have had a lot thrown at us since April. Honestly, it feels like a lifetime worth of things have been thrown at us since then. But we have to be willing to accept peace within ourselves so that we can bring others into our peace. So think about something that makes you feel at peace. Is it a song, a playlist, a book, a quote? Love Island. There you go, Elise. I have no clue what it is, neither. Reading my Bible, having time with Jesus, watching TV, writing. I can't write. Oh, my girlfriend. The beach. Reading a good book. Some good ones here. Let's keep this music, playing the guitar. Love to see someone play the guitar. Do a TikTok of it. Let's see here. What is one talent of yours that you are proud of, or a talent that you like to do? Drop it in the box. What are some things that you find that you are talented of doing? Would love to see being lazy. That can be. Oh, ukulele. I've never seen that word typed or written.
Hooked on phonics, Chris. Hooked on
I was over here struggling. I was like, who is that? Making my friends happy, piano, everything I put my energy into. Warzone dubs. I haven't played Call of Duty since like the second one. Ping pong. Eating a crazy amount of pickles. Hey, whatever floats your boat. TikTok dances. All right, next one. Name one person who believes those things about you. And what I mean is, name someone who believes that you're a great person, that you work hard, that you can always count on, that's always there for you. It can be your mom, Zoe, God, Brandon. It can be this crazy guy named Chris Everett, Sydney Rowan. my dad. You always see your parents and God on here. Ben, Eli. It's good for you guys to know who you have in your corner that can always lift you up. Want to remind you guys of, yeah, Chris Everett. I got one out of 2. That's what I'm talking about. What is one thing you will accomplish this semester? It's a long semester ahead of you guys, but we want you to focus on something. So drop it in here. What do you want to accomplish this semester? What would make this a successful semester for you? Straight A's, 4.0, getting better at Smash Brothers, improving mental health. Love to see that one. Finish a book. Whoever said finish a book, I challenge you to finish a book every month if you can do that.
And not sleeping through Zoom is critical, y'all. There.
Procrastination, 3.0, graduation. Walk across that stage and get a job. There we go. Finding a job. Sleeping. Super Mario Galaxy. Finish Criminal Minds. All right. Let's keep this thing moving. Name something you can do for yourself to make you feel good or relaxed at the end of a long day. This is a long semester, and to reach those goals, y'all are going to have some hard days. So identify something right now that can help you relax. Take a bath. Fun fact, I've been able to fit in a bathtub since I was like 10. Straight showers over here, homie. Go to bed early. Pinterest. I didn't know that was still a thing. Lay down and watch movies. Designated Survivor. I binge watched it at the beginning of the pandemic. Crazy ending to it, whoever watches that. Lay in bed, light a candle. All right. Shave. Going to a food coma. That's my favorite. All right. So we just wanted to get you guys going. I see some smiles on the boxes. People are typing. So thank you guys for interacting with us. Love Island came up again. Just want to say that as you were coming on, Elise. But I am going to turn it over to Elise and her presentation. Thank you, guys.
Yes, shout out Love Island, the best TV there is. All right, thank you, Chris. Thanks for lightening the mood, because today we're talking about alcohol and sports performance, which isn't the most exciting thing that student athletes want to talk about, but it is critical to your success. So you having the knowledge of how it impacts you is going to empower you to make the decisions about when you should or when you shouldn't. So we will dive into it. We're going to look at what normal drinking is versus binge drinking in terms of quantity. We're going to look at the short-term effects, the long-term effects, and then we'll go with some real-life strategies of, like, let's be real, you're students, but you are athletes as well, so making sure that you have a plan. So what is considered normal drinking? Well, moderate alcohol, for those of you who are 21 years old or older, is 1 drink for women and 2 drinks for men per day. So that is considered a moderate amount of alcohol. Now, for those of you who are females and are wondering why it's so sexist that men get to drink more, it's nothing to do with body size. So if you're thinking, you know what, I'm a tall woman, I'm taller than most guys, I'm bigger than most guys, I can drink more. It's not to do with body weight or body size. It is because women have proportionately less water and more fat than male bodies. So that means that you are going to retain the alcohol longer than men are. So you're going to feel the effects longer than men are. Also, women have less of the enzyme alcohol dehydrogenase, and that enzyme breaks down the alcohol before it reaches your bloodstream. So for men, they're breaking down more of it before it hits their bloodstream. Women, more alcohol is getting to your bloodstream. The more alcohol that makes it to your bloodstream, the more you feel the effects of it. So women are going to feel the effects from the same amount of alcohol as a man, because more of it reaches your bloodstream. It has nothing to do with your size or what you are capable of. It's biology. So in terms of amounts, it is not, 1 drink does not mean whatever you can fit in 1 cup or whatever you can fit in 1 container. It depends on the liquid you are drinking. So if you are drinking beer, that's going to be 12 ounces. If you are drinking wine, that is 5 ounces. If it is a spirit, it's 1.5 ounces. So that is considered one drink. And again, one drink for women, 2 drinks for men is considered moderate alcohol intake. So what is binge drinking? So binge drinking is when men have 5 or more drinks, or women have 4 or more drinks consecutively or within a 2-hour period. And the group of people who are most likely to binge drink in this country are 18 to 24-year-olds. So that is you guys. And also Harvard did a study looking at student athletes, and they found that male student athletes were 16% more likely to binge drink, and female student athletes were 19% more likely to binge drink than their non-athletic counterparts. So even though you guys have a lot more on your plate in terms of being athletic, having to show up, having to perform, you are more likely to binge drink than the students who it's not going to have an impact on their physical performance. So effects of alcohol, we're going to look at the short term, the long term, and something I want you to bear in mind is that some of these things impact the specific biological processes of your body, whereas other things, it is an indirect effect of you drinking behavior, and so that is going to have a knock-on effect on how your body is going to be responding to alcohol. So short term, one of the biggest things that I'm looking at is recovery. First of all, consuming alcohol decreases your muscle glycogen synthesis. So for those of you who have heard from me, you know that carbohydrates are your number 1 fuel source. Carbohydrates are stored in your muscles as glycogen. So that is like your gas tank. You're going to run that glycogen store down whenever you're competing, whenever you're working out. And it's really important for recovery that you refill your gas tank as quickly as possible. Alcohol gets in the way of refilling your gas tank. And it does it in 2 ways. It does it in terms of biology. It impedes the pathways of you eating food and it going straight to your muscle. But also it has a practical impact. If you go straight from a game to a night out, you're not probably going to be getting the amount of post-game food that you get in. Maybe you get in a recovery shake. You're likely not going to get all of that food that you normally get that helps you recover. So your recovery is slower and you have less fuel available at the next workout. So it's going to have knock-on effects the next day. Also, when it comes to recovery, it impairs your muscle protein synthesis. Muscle protein synthesis is that rebuilding, repairing of muscle. Obviously, when you're working out, when you're competing, you're breaking your muscle down, and it's really important that you repair that muscle as quickly as possible. However, alcohol, again, impedes that biological system of you repairing, rebuilding your muscle. Now, also for some of you, I know for track, we talk about racing fit, and you gain a lot of your fitness from competition. You're missing out on those training adaptations that you're going to get from a game, from competition, if you consume alcohol afterwards. So you might, if your practices are typically 2 hours long, but then your game is 3 hours long, football, I'm looking at you, you're not going to be getting those training adaptations from that 3-hour game as you would if you drink alcohol right after, as you would if you didn't drink alcohol. So less training adaptations, increased soreness, increased breakdown over time. So if this is something that you're consistently doing, you're consistently not repairing, not filling up your gas tank, not rebuilding your muscle, not getting those training adaptations, over time it's going to increase your injury rate, and we'll go into that a little bit more soon. So one kind of myth when it comes to alcohol is that it helps you fall asleep. And actually, I shouldn't say myth, because it's true, alcohol does help you fall asleep quicker. However, it disturbs your REM cycles. So you don't have as good quality sleep, and you're not going to sleep for as long. So overall, it has a negative impact on your sleep. So don't be fooled by the fact that, oh, when I drink, I fall asleep quicker. You're not sleeping as long and you're not sleeping as deep. So you're not getting the benefits from sleep as you normally would do. Hydration. So one of the short-term effects is being dehydrated. Again, if you've heard me speak, I talk about hydration a lot. But alcohol is a diuretic. It stimulates your body to go pee because alcohol is a toxin. Your body wants to get rid of it. One way it can do that is by you going to the bathroom. So it is going to actively make you go to the bathroom to pee. So you're going to be dehydrated. So one myth is that for every one alcoholic drink, you need 1 water to rehydrate. You don't, you need 2, because it's going to use some of that water that you drink to flush your system, flush that toxin out. So then you need a second water to replace those fluids so that you can stay at like baseline hydrated. And dehydration from alcohol lasts on average 72 hours. That's 3 days. So if you are drinking Saturday night thinking you're going to be ready to go Monday morning, you're not. You're still going to be feeling those effects, especially when it comes to dehydration on Monday, all through Monday up until Tuesday. So it can last a long time. So short term, if you choose to drink, then you should know that your recovery is going to be stunted. You're not going to be repairing, rebuilding your muscle. You're not going to be filling up your gas tank. You're going to be dehydrated. And that is obviously then going to have a knock-on effect, specifically for the next 24 hours, but also, like I said, with dehydration for the next 72 hours. So let's have a look at what that knock-on effect is. So they've actually done research to look at an athlete's performance while they are hungover. And hangovers have been shown to reduce athletic performance by 11.4%. That is a significant amount. Games, competition can be won or lost by 1 centimeter. So 11.4 is really, really significant. And the reason is because of all of these symptoms that you can experience from a hangover. Again, you're going to be dehydrated for 72 hours. That's going to have a huge impact on performance. You're going to have reduced cognitive function. So that's going to lead to slower decision making and also poorer decision making. You're not going to make the right decisions, and it's going to be a slow decision making process anyway. So not great. And then remember that impaired muscle glycogen synthesis. So remember, you're not refilling your gas tank as quickly as you need to. Well, that is going to mean that you're forcing your body the next time you work out, you're forcing it to use fat for fuel, which is going to reduce your peak power. Carbohydrates are your main fuel source whenever you're working out at 60% intensity or higher. If you don't have carbohydrates, it forces your body to use fat for fuel. That is going to force down the intensity that you can work out. So you can no longer work at 100%. You can only work at about 60% of your capacity. That is something that coaches are going to pick up on. They're going to know if you're not able to work out as well, if you're not able to put the same amount of power out. You're also going to have decreased aerobic capacity. All of you use your lungs while you're working out. It's all super important for you. You're going to have decreased ability to use oxygen whilst you're working out. Impaired temperature regulation. So this is obviously really important. I mean, it's really important all the time, but it's obviously really important while it's still really hot. You're not going to be able to cool your body as you normally would after you've had alcohol in your system. And you're also going to feel tired quicker. So it's going to accelerate that feeling of fatigue. You're going to be hitting the wall a lot quicker. It's also going to increase your glucocorticoid production, which is a group of hormones. One of those hormones is cortisol, which you may have heard of as the fight or flight hormone or the stress hormone. This hormone does a few things in your body. Number one, it breaks down your muscle. So now it's kind of a double whammy. You've not recovered, you've not rebuilt or repaired your muscle from after your workout or after your competition. And now the hormone cortisol is breaking down more muscle. It's also going to increase your cravings for high calorie, high sugar foods. And for those of you who are 21 and may have drunk alcohol, you may notice that the next day your appetite is through the roof. All you want to eat is carbs, sugary foods, and it's because of this hormone cortisol. It also increases your fat storage. So especially in your abdominal area, cortisol likes you to tell your body to hold on to fat, to hold on to energy, specifically in the abdomen. Hence why the term beer belly is a term. You're also going to have reduced capacity to remove toxins or remove waste. Anytime you're working out, your body is producing waste. It's producing different byproducts, one of which could be lactic acid. If you are still working alcohol out of your system, it's going to be harder for your body to also remove the lactic acid, to remove any byproducts, to move waste, toxins from your body. That's going to leave you feeling overall not great. Long-term, so there are some long-term implications for alcohol consumption, especially associated with binge drinking, one of which is changes in body composition. I just kind of touched on that a little bit with the hormone cortisol being released. So fat storage is going to increase. Now, alcohol has calories. People refer to it as empty calories. I like to refer to it as non-nutritive calories. It's not providing you any nutrition, but it is still providing calories. Your body has to do something with those calories. And when you're drinking, instead of metabolizing energy like normal, your body is really focused on clearing the toxin, clearing the alcohol out of your system. So instead of metabolizing everything like normal and storing some stuff as carbohydrate, it's just going to store everything as fat. It thinks, let me just store this as fat, I'll get to it later. So it increases your fat storage. But those calories that come from alcohol, they're also going to be shunted to fat storage. And you do get a significant amount of calories from alcohol itself. So to put it in perspective, you're getting about 7 calories per gram of alcohol. For carbohydrates, you get 4 calories per gram. For protein, you get 4 calories per gram. For healthy fats, you get 9 calories per gram. So alcohol does provide a significant amount of calories. And usually that's when people ask, well, what about low drinks like trees? What about if I just do shots of a liquor? Isn't that a lean way to drink? You're still taking the calories from that alcohol and storing it as fat. So you're still getting calories. Don't let those low carb beverages fool you. So also long-term, alcohol really messes with your gut lining and your gut health, which means 2 things. 1, it can mess with the absorption of other nutrients. And 2, it can stop your gut lining from producing the nutrients that it does. Some of those nutrients are B1, B12, folic acid, zinc, really important ones for, well, these are important for everyone, but specifically for you guys as student athletes, your energy requirements are really high. B12 helps you convert food into energy. And this is one of the things that you're more likely to become deficient in if you are a consistent binge drinker. And also zinc takes part in 100 different metabolic processes in your body. So again, really important, especially for you guys as student athletes. The injury rate. So studies looking at the % chance of a student athlete being injured throughout their 4 or 5 years. For non-drinkers is around 23.5% chance that you could get injured. For those who drink, it over doubles, 54.8% chance of becoming injured during your collegiate career if you consume alcohol. That's obviously something that none of us want to experience. You don't want to spend your 4 or 5 years on the sideline because of your alcohol intake not being timed right. Also suppresses immune function. Obviously, again, really important right now. We're all talking about how to stay healthy. Alcohol suppresses your ability to fight off illnesses. So something that may have just been like a 24-hour bug could now become a 2 or 3 day bug, which you guys know, 2 or 3 days in college sports, that could mean starting or not starting. That could mean competing or not competing. It can be a quick turnaround for some of you guys. You can't always afford to lose 2 or 3 days of showing up as your best self. So real life strategies. I get it. For those of you who are 21, you're in college, you want to have fun, you are normal people too. You're not just athletes. So let's be realistic with this. Number 1, stick with your recovery routine. If you normally have a recovery shake or recovery meal after competition, make sure you still do that, even if you know you're going to be going out and being social later. Make sure you stick with that immediate within 2-hour recovery shake meal. Plan ahead. Have a little plan of what you're going to do so you're not just winging it and anything goes. So what are you going to be drinking? How many are you planning on having? I know that might seem like a weird thing to think about, but now that you know binge drinking is about 4 drinks for women, 5 drinks for men, maybe that's going to set you perspective about realistically what you're going to be having. And always, how are you getting home? Eat. Please do not drink on an empty stomach. I cannot reiterate this enough. I know. Oh, but I'll get drunk quicker. It's not the goal here. You need to eat. If you don't eat now, before drinking, you are more likely to eat while you're drinking or on your way home from drinking. And those foods are not going to be optimal for recovery. I'll put it that way. It's going to be your late night fries, late night pizzas, late night burgers. In England, we love a good kebab. It's not the kind of food that is going to be helping you recover from your competition. So eat beforehand. Alternate, add in water. And now I'm just going to say it. You're probably not going to be instinctively doing it, but try to add in water if you are going to be drinking, if you are going to be social. Try to mix that in. Don't top off your drink. So this is one, especially if you're at like a house party or you're with your teammates, don't just be topping off each other's drinks. Allow yourself to finish your drink so that you know what you're having. If you're constantly just adding a little bit to your cup here and there, you don't know if you've had 1 drink or 4 drinks or 5 drinks. It's really hard to tell. So make sure you're finishing your drink so that you know where you're at. And it is really important that you keep a tally. This is something that all people should be doing, student athletes or not, so that you know where you're at. And this is going to give you awareness of where your limit is. So finish your drinks. Don't just be topping them off. Make sure you start fresh each time. Avoid rounds. I'm saying this because I don't want you drinking at somebody else's pace. If you are drinking rounds with your teammates and someone has a higher tolerance than you or just wants to drink more than you that night, don't drink that because you're drinking rounds. So avoid doing rounds, drink at your own pace, know your own limits. And this is something obviously with where you're at in life, especially if alcohol is new to you guys, you may not know this yet. I would encourage you to start small, baby steps. We don't want to know our limit because we went way too far. It's best to start. Remember, moderate drinking is considered 1 drink for a woman, 2 drinks for a man. So kind of to put it into perspective, start small, start with 1. Look out for your teammates, especially like during this time. You really shouldn't be socializing with that many people anyway. You're likely going to be with your teammates, so look out for each other, especially if it's, I mean, we've all, as former student athletes, we've been there when you have like a performance that wasn't your best. Maybe you're feeling annoyed with yourself, maybe you're down on yourself, then you get alcohol in the mix. Look out for your teammates. If they're struggling, maybe hit pause. Look out for each other. And with water, so I would encourage water over the late night fries, the late night pizza, the late night Chick-fil-A run. Try to end with water to start that rehydration process as quickly as possible. And again, know who your designated driver is. Always have a backup plan. If your designated driver decides to drink, what are you going to do? Always have a backup plan. And if you are using a ride sharing app, share your journey with someone else, especially if you know that person isn't out. You can share your journey if you're on Uber or Lyft, let someone know, let a friend know, let family know that you're in a car, that you're going home, what your journey looks like. So share your journey. And remember your goals. So again, being realistic, if you're in season, this is your last season and you have big goals, maybe hit pause on alcohol. It's always going to be there for the rest of your life. So remember what your goals are and know your own body. So if you know, like, you know what, I'm mid-season, my body is really beat up right now, I'm struggling to recover, is drinking going to help that or is it going to hinder that? So just being honest with yourself about where you're at in terms of how your body is feeling, where you're at, are you in season, out of season? What are your goals? Is alcohol going to help you get there or is it going to hinder you from reaching those goals? So don't forget that. And for those of you who are not 21 yet, I had to look this stuff up real quick because I came to this country of age. It is serious, you guys. If you are underage, the fines multiply very quickly. They can take your driver's license away from you. I didn't know that. Even if you were drinking nowhere near a vehicle or it had nothing to do with a vehicle, they can still revoke your driver's license. And this sentence really made me nervous. Sentencing is left to the judge's discretion. If they're having a bad day, they could decide to go higher. These are just the minimums. So know that the minimums are already high and that is just the baseline. These repercussions from drinking are No joke. So if you are under 21, bear that in mind. Okay, that's all I have for you guys. Any questions about drinking and performance?
Thank you, Elise. Yes, if anybody has any questions for her, but if everybody can take a second in the chat box, one thing that you didn't know today that you just learned on this session that was revealing. And again, you've got 3 former athletes on this call that we've been there, done that. But this is about responsibility. So when we talk about what's the leadership aspect, when we're in season, it's one of those things that back in the day we used to call it just we're dry for the whole season. We're not going to drink or do anything that's going to affect our performance. And I think now we try to sometimes skirt around it, or we say it's just on the weekend. But as Elise said, it adds up after time. And just imagine doing all that conditioning and then it taking 2 weeks away from you every single time. It's not a good feeling. It's already hard enough to get it up there. And where we're at right now, because we've been off for so long, and I know some of you guys worked out over the break, but it's not the same intensity when you're by yourself. So we're a couple steps behind in a sense, getting ready for our seasons, and many of them being pushed to the spring semester and everything else. So you need to make sure you're doing your body good and taking the time to either for treatments and everything else, but nutritionally eating right, getting enough sleep, stretching. When athletic trainers are asking you to be in the training room, that you do that. But your nutrition, as we saw for breakfast, if people put nothing in the box, we saw that a couple times in our previous session. You got to make sure you're fueling yourself for the day so you can be at peak performance. So as we shift over, any questions for Elise before we move to our next topic? So in the chat box, I see a lot of people didn't realize with the injury, dehydration lasting for 72 hours, injury rate increase, that's 54%. So those of you that like to throw a couple back on the weekend or after a big game, and then you're expected to get back on active recovery and then regular practice, that's 72 hours that you just messed up for yourself. So again, be mindful. And this is the junior and senior group. So there's a lot of you getting ready for your career. Let me just give you a story. I had a teammate, we're getting ready to graduate. He gets a DUI. He's getting ready to go work for a pharmaceutical company, $85,000 right out of college at, 22 years old, and has to basically re-enroll for grad school because they've revoked his license. He's got to breathe into a car just to get across town. So it's not like he has a freedom to drive. It's just literally to get to where he needs to go to for the day. So there are consequences if you do things that could affect your future career, and we don't want that to happen. Or you could very well kill somebody. Like I told him, I said, I guess you was out to try to either kill yourself or kill someone, because for him to have his first DUI and then for them to revoke his license as well as put a breathalyzer on his car, he was way over the legal limit. So again, you're in a city, things are going to happen. Call an Uber, call somebody on the staff to come get you. We'd rather you be safe than hurt yourself or hurt somebody else. So again, we're going to move into the social issue. And this is about hunger. Hunger in America right now. We're in a pandemic, and obviously there's a food shortage and food crisis going on. But every night, kids K through 12, somebody goes to bed hungry. So we've got a couple videos for you, and our actionable item is what can you do either individually or as a team to make it better for somebody or for a family or for a school or whatever else. So Chris, you want to cue up the videos, and then we'll have a little bit of discussion after that.
As a mom, I want to be able to give my children the things that they need, and one of the primary responsibilities of a mom is to feed her kids, and that is hard to do on a budget. The things that are less expensive are the things that are less healthy. I want to be able to buy the produce and the dairy that's fresh and healthy. I want them to be able to have the energy that they need to run around and play. My name is Brittany. My husband is Clint. We have 2 little boys, and we love spending time together. things were really tight, and one of our neighbors mentioned the Utah Food Bank brought food to our neighborhood, and there was a whole truckload of food. I was really excited and humbled someone would be willing to donate all of that sort of thing and that we could have that. When we say that we're homeowners, people think that we have it made, that we don't struggle with money, but we do. Bills are really tight. We still have to make those choices and live on a budget. I use coupons. I do babysitting for the neighbors during the day, and I work at night. My husband has a college degree, and yet our income is still in the poverty level. Last year, we didn't turn the heat on during the winter. We had a little space heater that we used, and we all slept in the same bedroom. It's a terrible feeling as a mom, but it's a reality. Do you get the medicine? Do you get the fresh food? Do you get the pair of shoes? Or do you send them to school in November with sandals? I couldn't possibly tell you the difference it has made in our lives, that I have felt like a better mother, that I've been able to provide more for my children. The money that we were able to save on our groceries has helped us to be able to get back on our feet.
You want the next one, Reagan?
Yeah, go ahead, Chris. So now this next video is going to show us what
you're going to always find yourself in one of three places.
Sorry, that was the YouTube. It continue to go. Were you going to say something else, Reagan?
Nope, you're good to go.
In America today, millions of people face hunger. They lack access to enough nutritious food to live active, healthy lives. This problem, known as food insecurity, is a reality for households in nearly every community in the U.S. At Feeding America, we are working to end hunger in America. We continue to improve our understanding of what may lead to hunger by conducting research that enables us to better serve people and communities in need. This research includes Map the Meal Gap, Feeding America's annual report on local food insecurity and food prices across the country. As part of this project, we have digitally translated the results of the study into an online interactive map. Discover what food insecurity looks like in your local county or congressional district, how prevalent it is among children, and how many people in need likely qualify for federal nutrition assistance programs like SNAP. The map also shows the local cost of a meal and how much more money people struggling with hunger report needing to buy just enough food for their families. Learning about local food insecurity is the first step. The map also links you to your local Feeding America food bank where you can volunteer, allows you to share information through social media, and even contact your local legislator. There is no reason anyone in our nation should go hungry. And with your help, we can make sure no one does. Help us end hunger and create stronger communities across the U.S. Visit map.feedingamerica.org to learn more and take action.
So we wanted to show you guys both of those videos because Elise did a great presentation about alcohol and how it affects your competition, well, how you compete in your body and everything. But we also wanted to let you guys know that we're here for other things outside of you just competing. If some of you guys might be going through food insecurity issues yourselves right now while you're in college, or maybe some of your family members are back at home. We want to first let you guys know that we are here to help you out with that. You are not alone. The Jamil Niner food Pantry that's on our campus, our department, we partner with them. Our Student Athlete Advisory Committee, SAC, partners with them to help students that are on campus to have food who do not have it. And if any of you guys have any food insecurity issues, we can put you in touch with them. We also partner with Second Harvest Food Bank here in Charlotte, and we partner with Loaves and Fishes to give them food. We do this to help families out because most of you have a meal plan. So you don't have to worry about where your next meal is going to come from because you know that you at least have 1, 2, maybe even 3 meals a day. As Brittany said in that video, she has to make the decision where her children have new shoes or where they have sandals because she has to purchase food for her family. But because of organizations like these that we partner with, we're able to give them things. Now, we want you guys to help us out here in Charlotte to make a difference, but we also want to make sure that if you have issues going on back at home, that we help you out with that. We're here to mobilize you guys and make you better people as a whole. And so I'm about to drop in the chat right now in case any of you guys want to look it up in your hometowns. And if you want to look there and you see that those numbers are lower than what they thought they were, and you want to do something, come talk to me so that we can figure something out. I am here to connect you to the city of Charlotte, but also I'm here to connect you to what you're passionate about. So if you guys have anything that you want to talk about to help other people out, or maybe you didn't realize how much help that you actually needed yourself, you can reach out to me, Reagan, or Elise. And something that Elise did last semester, we took a group of student athletes to like Harris Teeter so that they could walk the aisles with her to see what type of meals they can purchase, and also looking at the proper meals you can purchase off of a budget so that you can actually afford the meals that you are purchasing and it's not breaking your bank. So we are here to help you guys out with this from the social justice standpoint, that it doesn't really look at your economic background or your socioeconomic status. Like food and food insecurity, food deserts, it doesn't matter where you're from or who you are. They pop up everywhere because people don't have the basic necessities for life. So we just wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of that and what is going on, and that you can be a part of the solution. Your team can be a part of the solution. For those of you who don't know, most of y'all should be leaders on your team. The Gold Cup that we do every year, like for instance, our women's soccer team, they brought in over 600 pounds of water just 2 weeks ago that we were able to donate to needy families here in the city. A package of water, it literally only costs like $2 or $3. Just think of how many families we can help out with that. We took that directly to the food bank. And so that helped them out with the Gold Cup, yes, but it also helped out a lot of families. So those of you guys who have a say on your team, that's something easy that you could tell them to do to help us out with this Gold Cup thing so that your team can get some points and say we can help some families out. Go to the store and buy some food so that we can bring it in and help people. So like, we just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware of that. From a leadership standpoint, take these things to heart that Elise is saying so that y'all can genuinely think about when you're hanging out with a friend and you see them drinking, you know the toll that it's going to take on their body and how long it's going to take for them to recover, so that you can talk to them about being wise about the choices that they're making. When you're in season, really think about what you are here for. Yes, you are here to have a good time, but is it a good time if you are also losing just to have a drink on the weekends? Think about how much more fun you can have if you wait for the desired time to actually drink, and you can celebrate a win like at the end of the season when your season is over with and you have that conference championship or you have that bowl game championship. Think about how it is to celebrate then rather than if you were to win that first game of your season and you party and then next you know you go down a losing streak because your star players get hurt because they didn't have the proper time to heal. So we just wanted to bring those things up to you guys. And from an action item standpoint, because again, we always want to hit those 3 areas with y'all: social justice, leadership, and action items. So I'm about to drop in the chat your attendance for tonight will be you completing this Google form. This Google form will allow you guys to let us know what you thought about the presentation tonight. Also challenge you to think about what your next steps can be. And again, if y'all have any questions, Reagan and myself, we are here to help you guys out with anything that you may be thinking about or anything that just might pop in your head. Please feel free to reach out to us. Reagan and Elise, do y'all have anything else for them? And also, just like I told the last group, we were hovering around 50 at the start of this call, and we're still at 50 now. So thank you guys for tuning in the entirety of this time and being a part of this discussion. Yeah, Reagan, I saw your hand.
Real quick, you guys. So you would have received an email this morning at 8 a.m. It's about our voter registration. So if you are looking to do a mail-in ballot, go to your state in the attachment. All the links are hyperlinked, so you should be able to go directly, one, get yourself registered, but the other one, be able to get your absentee ballot if you plan to vote within your state. If you want to get registered to vote for North Carolina, it's a quick, easy process here of doing it online. But again, I sent that information this morning at 8 a.m. So take a look at that, check that out, because we want to make sure that we have 100%, obviously our US students registered to vote, so we can be ready for early voting and everything else. So other than that, Elise, do you have anything else?
I just wanted to clarify one thing that someone put in the comments. They said, I did not know you get drunk faster when you eat. You don't. Just wanted to clarify that. I don't want you thinking that you should eat to get drunk faster. Let's just like take all of that out of the equation. We're not trying to get drunk faster or whatever. We eat and then we can socially drink if we're 21 and it's the right time.
All right, everybody, have a good night. Be safe, get some rest, and we will see you all next week at some point.
We will be here just in case somebody wants to stay on and ask a question. But again, that Google form, that is your attendance tonight. So if you're in a room with somebody, make sure they fill it out as well, because you won't get your life skill credit unless you complete that Google form. Y'all are free to go.
Adios. Thanks, guys.
You're Ryan.
Adios.
See ya. See you, Ro.
Hey, Paul. Bye, Paul. You're muted, Paul.
Yeah, you're muted, Paul.
The part that I was going over when I was putting you back in the room was just about the email for voter registration. I sent that this morning to take a look at to get registered to vote.
Okay, and if we like donate food, do we just bring it to like you, Chris?
Yeah.
Well, Chris isn't in the office, so you can bring it up to the 3rd floor in the SAC. You want to do that, Chris, for the meantime, since you're not here? And
I will say, yeah.
Yeah, you can put it the front desk where Allison usually sits in.
Okay.
In the suite, just behind there.
Oh, I just kind of wanted to like just. It's not really a question, just kind of, I guess, being like somewhat vulnerable or.
Yeah.